I think people are going to start coming back to the underground and being like, I want real, authentic metal. I want to hear fucking guy hit the fucking drum set. You know, I want to see the amps on stage. I don't want to see people like dancing for 30 seconds to get like a hot clip. Like, I want to listen to an album that I sit in my room in the dark and makes me fucking feel something. Fuck. Like, sorry, but like, man, I think we're hitting this like turning point. I could feel it in my body, and I'm happy to be putting out a record like this at this point, because it's just showing people that we are not fucking doing that.
Real quick before getting into today's episode, just wanted to shout out a few quick things. First of all, we have a Patreon. For as low as $1.50 a month, you can get early access to these episodes as well as your name in the credits. And with the $5 tier, you can gain access to member-only channels in our Discord server, as well as be a part of the group calls that Yan and I do every second Friday. Secondly, we have merch. 2 designs that we absolutely love. You can find those over at indiemerchstore.com. And last but not least, we do these podcast recordings live on Twitch. So if you want to be a part of the conversation, see these as they happen. We do those every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. EST. Yeah, that's it. Links to everything I just mentioned will be in the description, along with links to our Discord server and our other socials. That's it. That's all I got to plug. Enjoy the episode. Darius, my man, welcome to the stream, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, guys. I got here just in time. I think we were just at band practice, so I got home like 20 minutes ago.
Hey, I mean, there we go. For what it's worth, yeah. I mean, the time I worked, I didn't even realize. So we're here.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Doing awesome, actually. We're super excited. Clearly the chat, our community is as well. Thank you for doing this. We've been looking forward to it for a while. We've been talking about it quite a lot behind the scenes, so it's cool. It's an honor. It's really cool.
Yeah, I've been doing a bunch of PR like interviews these last like 2 weeks for the record, and I was excited when you guys reached out. We kind of handled this on the side ourselves, because I was just saying, one of my friends listens to this podcast, so I was like, oh, cool, like this is dope. Like, people watch this stuff, like, sweet. Like, I'm not really like in the podcast or YouTube world very deep, so this is pretty new stuff to me.
Awesome. That's really cool. Well, for what it's worth, we're known as like the nerd people who cares about everything, all the stories, the past, and stuff like that. So
awesome.
If you're up for it, you're gonna have a blast. I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man, I'm down.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, look, you just alluded to it, so I think we could kind of start there, actually, because I'd love to pick your brain a little bit about the new record, New World Killer.
Yeah.
It's coming out like in a week from now?
Just about. Yeah. A week and a couple days. I think like 8 days or something. So Halloween, it's almost time, man. I'm really excited. It's perfect record for the holiday. It's a scary one. It's really intense, and it's a fun roller coaster. Have you guys gotten to hear it yet?
We have not. That's the thing with having done it on the side, I guess,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Right.
But look, there's the 3. No, but there's the 3 singles already that came out. Which, to be fair, I think look, correct me if I'm wrong, but I, from outside looking in, seemed like a good glimpse into the different facets that this album is touching on. Right. The 3 songs are pretty different one from another.
They are.
So can you kind of walk us through maybe a little bit of the process for this record? How was it going into this one compared to previous ones?
Well, this one we took like a whole year off touring to make. I mean, when we did Dedication of Flesh, we had years. It was COVID time, and we had like 2 or 3 years to just like sit down and grind that record out, where me and Alex don't really write on the road, really. It's just not really our style. So we knew that we were going to have to take some proper time to make something how we want it. So before the last tour we did with Dahlia and Dying Fetus, like right before that, we started the pre-pro process. And me and my brother got like a house in Joshua Tree. It's like like in the desert out in California. And we were just kind of like, okay, we need to figure out what we're doing here. You know, what's the sound for this record? What's the vibe? So we kind of just like, we're in there for 10 days and we kind of just demoed out everything that came to our head, right? Just like we weren't really filtering anything. We weren't kind of like, oh, this is bullshit, or like this isn't like cool enough or whatever. It was just like whatever came to our mind, just put it down, you know? So we could just have like stuff to kind of pull from and work with and see what's just kind of naturally coming out of us. And I think that's what we discovered we wanted this record to be, is kind of like a natural sound. You know, we were like, okay, so what happens when you take Spite, you know, after, you know, we're a band 11 years now. What do you do when you throw us in the room? You hand Alex the guitar, hand Travis the drumsticks, give Ben the bass, and give me the mic. Like, what's the first thing that we're just gonna like come out with, you know? So it was a very like natural, genuine writing process. So it was really fun to do that and just like allow us to explore influences a little bit and try new things. And I'll get into that too. I mean, I think once we finished that little demoing process, we finished our last tour before taking our time off. And then we spent like, it's like 6 months, me and Alex, we moved him down to Los Angeles so he could be here with me. And we got like a studio space together and like a 24-hour like lockout thing. So we could just go there whenever the fuck we want and just like not have to worry about pissing anybody off in the middle of fucking the valley. Yeah. So we could be as loud as we want. We could be, you know, it was kind of what we needed to do. And we've never really had that before. So we were able to just really, again, like explore a little bit. So we just spent those 6 months again creating this like, we had like a whiteboard with all of our demo names and stuff. And as we went along, you know, as we would work on the songs, like certain songs would end up, you know, down here, and then another one be bumped up here. And we're always thinking about, you know, how the album is going to flow, and the track listing and all that stuff is kind of like we do a set list, you know. That leads us kind of like into the studio Putney. We had like 15, 16 demos or something like that. And that's when we really got to like get down and get fun with it. We got in there.
How was it with Putney? Sorry to cut you off, but how was it with Putney to then come in with like the 15 songs? And I'm sure he had a bunch of input with, you know, how he could also help shape those songs too, I assume, right?
You know, it was our first time going to like a big producer. So we didn't really know what to expect. So we tried to become as prepared as possible. Sure. But and I think we came pretty prepared, I'd say, at the end of everything. I was like, all right, but now I know what to expect next time, and it'll be better next time. But it was great, man. Like, we got in there and I feel like the chemistry was good right away, but he sat us down and he had like his work screen up with the whole project, and he had all of Alex's demos like laid out on one big project, exactly how we had it. And we just went through all the songs together, and we just sat there in silence. And then at the end, he just kind of like would go in his notes, and he had all these things to say about all of them. It was kind of racking a little bit in the beginning, because like, you know, we just sat there and we were listening to our stuff, and he's just not saying anything. You know, like we're like, that was a little bit
like a teacher is grading your work type of thing.
yeah, that was the nervous moment for sure. But other than that, it was cool. But again, like you were like, because he would just be looking at his phone, you know, like it's like he wasn't even like, I'm like, is he listening? You know what I mean? Like, is he? And he'd just be like typing and stuff.
Not I'm even like, words.
Yeah, I'm like, is he
at the moment?
Is he texting somebody? Like, and then he would stop and he'd be like,
his ass, bro. You know, texting.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, so, and then he would just like list a bunch of shit, and I'm like, oh, you were just like, you were like dialed in, and you were like, listen everything hyper focused, man. He's an interesting, funny dude to work with, because he is very like compartmentalize how he does things and stuff. It's cool. But yeah, we went through everything and kind of just like for those first 2 weeks there, we really, I mean, week and a half there, we really just took all the demos, and Alex had his homework out for him. Like Will was able to be like, okay, we can do this with this. Let's scrap this part of this. Let's try something here, and we just kind of like built in all the songs, kind of we're able to like try some of them. We weeded out the ones we didn't want, and then we really got down to it and putting those things together. But like, it's kind of wild. Like, some of the songs were like finished the last week, you know what I mean? Like it was very everything, down to the wire oxes tracking leads and stuff, like before Uber's, shown up there and stuff. We used all the time, it was great tracking with Will Putney too.
How is that for you from a vocal perspective?
Yeah,
like as a vocalist tracking with them?
I've always tracked with Cody. He used to be in our band. He used to produce our old records and stuff. And I was very comfortable with him. Even with Dedication to Flesh, we tracked somewhere else, but I came home and I did vocals with Cody,
Sure.
So I was like, all right, here I really got to get in with someone, and do it. And I had a great time with him, man. I think he got some of the best, craziest, like gnarliest takes out of me. And Alex was there right behind him. Yeah. And, he had good things to say to me about me, before I left, which was really cool for me to hear from someone like that. So, getting
healing after the phone thing. You're like, oh, okay. So he's,
I won him over.
Yeah.
But I do want to say a little bit in this album process, like it was the first time, because I feel like our recording has always been kind of like military for us. Like me and Alex have always had a very clear idea of how we want things to be done and how things need to sound and be, to a T, right? So this time we wanted to like kind of open that door a little bit to see what would happen. We have Ben was there with us and giving us all of his input the entire time from the beginning to the end. And Travis, we let him completely take hold of the drum parts. And, it was the first time as a band we've ever let someone else like write the drum parts for Spite, and he took Alex's like basic things that he laid out and he just like went to fucking town on him, dude. And he went crazy with them. Like there were so many times where like we would come downstairs in the morning and wake up and Travis had been up like all night, and we like come down and Alex does his demo and he's supposed to be working on his drums. And like Travis is sitting there and he's like, all right, guys, hear me out. It's going to sound crazy. You're probably going to hate this. Like, like going off. And it's like, it ended up being like this part in the song, The Disaster. It's the beginning, first track of the song. And he just does this like stupid, like, fucking Slipknot drum solo as like a big ass transition in between like the song ends up like into this like crushing heavy part, but it's like so ridiculous and obnoxious. But I was like, that's what you would do, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that was like a huge part in making this record. It was just like, what would we just fucking do? Like,
what were you feeling? Like, what was that thing you needed to get out for this track, kind of thing?
Oh yeah, man. I think all of us, got to really put ourselves into this one, man. And me and Alex too, since Dedication of Flesh, we split the lyric process too. So he also writes for Spite as well. I'm not the only one that writes lyrics for Spite anymore, which has been great for me too. Cause we're brothers, we're obviously cut from the same cloth. And, he always tells me, he's like, when I'm writing, I'm imagining you doing this, like, and it's cool. He's always right behind me when I'm tracking and he's fucking directing and like, he's a sick motherfucker, dude.
It's cool to hear because it feels like not to sound cliche or anything, but like fun seemed to be the main theme. Like it's a natural process, and it feels like just hearing you talking, like it just seemed like a very fun process, which is not something we hear all the time, if I'm honest. So it's awesome.
No, man, I honestly, like, a lot of our recording processes have been like grueling and stressful, and I look back on them and I'm just like, Jesus fuck, that was such a time. Like, like, so this definitely is one that I look back on, I'm like, that rocked. Like, that was great. Like, I can't wait to go back and do something like that again and really just expand the Spite universe, man. Like, I think this record is very it has all that key elements, all the true elements that we've been about. But I think you're hearing us try different things as well and throw some curveballs in there that you might not expect. So it's fun, man. It's really fun to listen to.
It's probably cool also because like if you look at the reception so far, like the singles, is like it's just so overwhelmingly positive, right? Like I'm not crazy. I mean, it's coming from an outside perspective, but I was like, people are super stoked, you know? So it's a good indicator, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Once New World Killer came out, I was feeling pretty good about it. The first single didn't really go how I anticipated. Just with the release and everything, was pretty difficult, just all around. So, and like, you know, I think we were prepared for some like, not backlash, but like discussion, you know, controversy over maybe the music video or the song itself is a little bit not the typical Spite format, right? But we were prepared for stuff like that. I just wasn't prepared for something like, you know, something like that to happen in the US that day. We put it out, you know what I mean? That was just difficult. You know, we couldn't feel, you know what I mean? Like, I hate making it about me. And I think that's what sucks most about it is like, because it's not about me at all. And having a song and having this direct correlation to something like that just felt really bad. And I didn't feel good about putting the music out. And it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a bad day. It was a really bad day, you know? And so I think immediately after I put that song out, I was just kind of ready to move on and put out the next song and stuff. And I still stand by the video. I still stand by the song very much. And I love it. And we're going to be playing it and all that. But just to like get that focus off of that, because I hated that, man, you know?
Right.
No, I didn't catch that. No, I was mostly referring to the other one, right? Like I was reading like the comments, but I didn't catch like that thing. But again, it doesn't take, for its word, as you said, you know, it doesn't take away from the fact you're going to perform it live. You can still, you know, stand by and like it. It's just one of those things. Sometimes it's a timing thing. It's just, you know, what happens.
I can sympathize with the fact that it's the first music you're putting out in a while. It's the first single for the new album. You're like announcing all these things too, right? That, like you said, it's like it normally would have been your day, you know?
Yeah.
So I
hate thinking about it that way, man. It's just fucking like it's just the whole thing just sucks. And you know, RIP, man. So but anyways, New World Killer felt really awesome to put out. I think we just I think people are really excited.
It's like you mentioned it's one of your favorite Spite songs you've put out, right?
I think it's really just like it's got all of everyone's favorite parts of Spite just in a short, condensed little bit. We pay all the little respects to all of our previous records and kind of just hit everyone with all the punches in that one. It's like if you like Spite, you're gonna love that song. You know what I mean? There's just no doubt about it. And if you don't, I'm confused as to what you want at that point. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want? But we chose the singles carefully, and we did want to show the diversity on the record because the whole record sounds different. Every song sounds different. But again, they all have those core elements of Spite, so you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, that's why I was basically mentioning that, because I was going in the comments earlier on New World, and I was just like, you know, in metal, it's pretty rare that it's like so overwhelmingly positive, or someone who finds something to say. And I was reading, I'm like, there's not a single freaking bad comment on you know, New World, or so. It's cool to see. So it
popped off, man. I didn't realize it was gonna do so well like that. So it felt really good to see that people were really excited and sharing it around to their friends and stuff and getting the word out there, because it seems like even to this day, like the views are just continuously going, and I'm seeing people posting about it and stuff, and it fucking rocks, man. So I'm glad people just like that pummeling heavy shit. You know?
Cannot go wrong with heavy, man.
You can, I mean, if you like Spite again, you're gonna like it. So
people were pleasantly surprised with Looking Glass, though, and having the boundaries feature, though. I think that's kind of maybe a bit of also maybe a cultivated thing. Like you guys have toured a bunch together too. I think a lot of people kind of put the two bands together, but it is like a different style for him to perform on, and the mesh is so cool. And especially the way he weaves in and out of that song. It's not like your traditional, here's your 15 seconds part of a song type of thing, you know? So
exactly. He was the feature we knew, because we got the features after the record was done, like right after we came to the decisions on who we wanted and stuff, except for Matt. Matt was the one that, like, going into the album, me and my brother were just like, we gotta have Matt on this record, you know? And yeah, we do have that touring history together, and we love all those guys in Boundaries. I have nothing but good things to say about those guys and their music and their musicianship. It's incredible. So I hope they continue to just blast off, man. But Matt, like you said, has this like very crazy voice, very visceral, violent voice. And we just knew already that like he was gonna work and mesh with Spite really well. You know, that was a no-brainer for us. And then when we made Looking Glass, that song, I think kind of, if, you know, we were going to dabble into that metalcore-esque, you know, vibe a little bit, I think that was the song on the record, right? So I was like, I feel like he'd feel comfortable, you know, doing vocals on that record and feel safe in that boundary of the genre. And yeah, I love that it's not just like here's like his 10-second, 15-second part and then he's done, you know. It's like him and I are kind of like going back and forth together, and it kind of just sounds like a little push and pull, and I love that. It sounds violent.
It's dope, and he's got such a unique voice, I feel like, too, and sounds different than you do, which I feel like maybe this is like specifically a deathcore thing, but like I've always kind of rolled my eyes at features kind of for the sake of features, where you kind of almost can't even tell when the dude came in, because they maybe got a guy for the clout or whatever, but he sounds kind of the same as the guy, as the regular guy on the track. You're like, well, what was the point of this, you know? So this I think is a great example of like a feature done well. Like I really, again, like the fact that it's kind of like all over the track, and he pairs so well with your vocals and sounds distinctly like very different than yours is a cool thing. So yeah, and you guys have got some more features on the album too. You guys got Will, right?
We have Will and Will Ramos from Lorna Shore, and we have Tyler Shelton from Traders.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, and kind of like we did with Matt, we kind of just picked those two songs that we felt kind of dabbled in, not like we changed genres, but like when we dabbled in that world, you know what I'm saying? That was the song that we chose to fit, you know. Like if the Servant of Chaos with Will is like a very fast, very blast beat heavy song, almost a little atmospheric at some points, but dark. And I was like, Will is gonna rip this song, you know. And then Pledge is like just a devastatingly heavy song on that record. I mean, the original like demo title, just the working title for the song was Psychopath 2, because it was just like that, like it's the drop F, it's just the super heavy, like pummeling, you know, fuck you song on the album. And I was like, Tyler's gonna crush this, you know?
That kind of song.
Yeah, man.
It's cool because like we're talking about, like it's not features just for the sake of it. It's like it's because it makes sense and you can see the person's there, which makes all the difference. Because we've seen a lot of those, just like, oh, that person, and then you listen to the song and it's over and you're like, so where was it? Like it's just not the you know, the best feeling. So it's cool to hear that those parts, you know, you just thought like that's the right person.
Intentional for sure.
Yeah, makes a big difference too.
Just a quick second to talk about the sponsor of today's episode, Indie Merch Store. The new Ingested song Nefarious Tongues is here and it rules. Check it out on your favorite streaming service or check out the video on YouTube via Metal Blade Records. Pick up the limited edition t-shirt along with tons of other killer merch from the band over at indiemerchstore.com. Be sure to also catch their headlining tour alongside Distant, Of Sulfur, Cell, and Crucifixion, which starts in just 2 weeks. Also, Relapse Records just replenished the store with tons of new and restocked releases from Relapse. Pick up vinyl from Death, Pig Destroyer, Soylent Green, along with merch from those bands, plus Mortician, Necrophagist, Incantation, and so much more. Stock is already flying, so order yours today, in stock and shipping now. You can always use code BRUTALITY at checkout to save 10% off of your entire order. Again, that's code BRUTALITY at checkout for 10% off. Massive thank you to Indie Merch Store for supporting the show. Now, back to the episode.
You kind of touched on the fact that, you guys were, exploring different things with this album and going into different influences and stuff. But I think from my point of view, I feel like you guys have always been pretty about that. Am I crazy to say that? Like, I feel like even when you guys started out, because I'd love to kind of maybe go back to the beginning for a little bit. Like, I feel like you guys came in at a time where it was all kind of beat down and gent and maybe the sworn in thing, and like there was kind of like a cliche of the types of bands that were going around, and I felt like you guys from the beginning had the same elements that you guys are still making use of today. It's not like the bands like I don't know, some bands they take a while to find their footing and to find like those specific sounds that make it them, right? But
right.
I feel like you guys have always kind of had the Spite sound, and I'd love to maybe dig into that a bit. Like maybe starting the band, like were you already making music with your brother like before Spite? Was there like how does one lead to having like the distinct sound that really was different from the beginning than everyone else?
Yeah, me and my brother have always played music together, like all of our musical endeavors. We started when we were young. I was a drummer first, so I was playing drums and he was doing guitar. We had, a few bands over the years. We dabbled in, our local scene very heavily. We were involved. Went to a ton of shows and had a bunch of side bands, and we enjoyed just kind of like playing with different people in the scene. And at one point I was just in a band that I wasn't really enjoying. And it just wasn't me,
Yeah.
And I was a, young adult teenager or whatever the fuck, I don't know what you want to call me. I was like 18, 19 years old or something. And I remember just hitting up my friend Cody, and we had played together in some side bands, and I was like, man, like I need to play like the most angry shit ever. Like I mean, it just hit me one day. I was like walking home, and I was listening to my headphones. I was like, nothing I'm listening to right now is like satisfying how I'm feeling, right? Because I was just so upset all the time. I was so angry. I had nowhere to go with all these feelings, and I was like, nothing is working. And I was like, I just have to do it myself. Like, I need to be that band for me, So Cody was right on board with that when I texted him. And very quickly, he sent me the demo for what was Misery at the time. And I was like, this is it. Like, it's just over the top, ridiculous, just pummeling, like violent sound. And I remember going over to the studio and tracking vocals, and we put it out that day. Like,
okay.
Like in like a little home studio set up. In his parents' house at the time. He had like a little rig, and I came over, I tracked vocals. We're like, this is fucking awesome. I think we're doing something really genuine, like crazy here, like I think the goal was to be over the top, but it felt so real, it was. And we were just like, okay, like let's put this out and just see what people think, see what happens, right? And we're like, what do we want to call ourselves? And at the time, we didn't, see anyone online with the same band name. I think there is like some death metal, black metal band or something
metal,
out there.
Whatever, yeah.
But I was like, well, what's the message here? And it was so blatant. It was just like Spite. That's what this is. that's what's going on here. Like, and we just like named the band and put it up on Facebook, and it kind of caught traction like pretty quick. I think like some Australian forums picked it up pretty fast, and then Chugcore, I think someone shared it. You guys, I'm sure, remember that. And
the good old days.
Me and him, yeah, people were just like, have you heard this? Like, this is crazy. Like, this is wild. Like, everyone check this out. I remember just being like, damn, like people were like stoked on this, you know? And so me and him were like, all right, we gotta like make this a real band and make sure we like pursue this, because I think this seems to be it, you know? So obviously I got my brother and a couple other guys at the time that we're all mostly still cool with and all. And we, you know, me and Cody wrote the Misery EP, and that became, I mean, we still play Psychopath like to this day, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of bringing back to what you said, like we haven't strayed so far to where we still can like put all of our songs from any part of our discography in our set, and it still makes sense and still works, and we still love playing all of our old shit. We're not like sick of it or tired or like we're too mature for that now. It's not like that at all. Like, it's just like different time of our life. We play different shit. Like, you know, there's different ways to make heavy, pissed off music, you know? But yeah, back to the Misery EP. We finished that up. We put it out. And then we just kind of kept going. Like Cody was really trying to build a studio at the time. Yeah. So we're like, let's just start fucking working on a record right away, you know? Remember I drew up the Spite logo, and then we put that on that. I was going to ask about that,
because that's like on the Misery EP, and it's still like such a big part of your guys' identity. We still use it on like all our shirts. Yeah. I fucking... That's a rare thing. Like the first like drawing of something that's a part of a band is still like the icon, like the thing that people relate it to. It's, I don't know, I find that cool. Like,
it trips me out sometimes, like when I really think about it, because I just drew that as like a teenager, and I drew it with the intention of it being the logo. I remember at first I drew it without a bottom jaw. I remember I brought it back to Cody, and Cody was like, "You should put a jaw like on the bottom." finish. You know, it felt weird without it.
Your anatomy wrong.
Yeah. I still have it and everything. I'm like, one day I'll leave this for my children. You know. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's like the Slayer logo for us, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I mean, not even in the sense where like, it doesn't even say our name, you know, but you could see it, and I feel like you know what it is right away.
Absolutely,
you know, very identifiable. And yeah, man, I think we got picked up by that fucking shitty, stupid record label. I don't even want to name drop them, because who fucking cares, right?
We all know.
So we got picked up by them at the time, and unfortunately, Spite learned many things the hard way in our career. That was one of them. But we were young, we didn't know a lot, I guess, at the time, and we were advised by, I guess, people who didn't know any better too. And anyways, we wrote a record we put our hearts and souls into, and that was me, Alex, and Cody wrote Nothing Is Beautiful. And again, it's another record that I think that was really the pivotal point for Spite. I think, you know, with Kill or Be Killed kind of getting some traction the way it did. And I think that like I was like, okay, like this is getting real. We did our first like kind of our larger scale tour for what we were at the time as a band.
Yeah, you guys hopped on that Oceano, the Revelations thing. I saw you guys on that tour. That was fucking sick. That lineup was dope at the time. Yeah.
What a wild tour, man.
Those are all bands that you've like
back fondly on that one.
Yeah, I mean, you retoured with a bunch of these bands at like different occasions afterwards, like No Zodiac and Oceano and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, they're all we're still cool with a lot of the guys that were on that tour at the time. They're Star to Prevail was on that. Aversion's Crown.
Yes, sir.
We're still homies with some of those guys. No Zodiac, of course. They were awesome. I think everyone was just like really it felt like everyone was hanging out every day on that tour. Everyone was having a good time. The shows were really sick. And like I think it was one of the best tours like of my young career for sure, you know. And then again, like a very pivotal point for our band that we're really seeing like people come out while also being exposed to like, you know, the Oceano's legacy audience in deathcore, and then Slaughter to Prevail was this like upcoming hot band at the time, and we were just kind of thrown in there, and we're able to just like kind of like play for the audience we really needed to play in front of to get our foot in the door, you know.
Kind of just all felt right in a way. Like I'm hearing like the story and everything, and it going back to what we were talking earlier, like it's a natural process thing. That's what I'm hearing, you know, like since the beginning it just felt right. And I'm sure you had I'm pretty sure you had a moment maybe with your brother or with the other guys just being like, oh my God, we're doing this type thing. Because it just made sense. Do you remember, by the way, that around what time it was when you just look at each other like, we're doing this, like that's going to be our...
You know, it was that tour, because I remember we did this routing tour into that tour, which was like 2.5 weeks long, because we did like this festival in between. It was like bizarre tour routing that, like, you know, when you're touring and at that time you just did shit like that. You know, it was just fuck. But
were you guys starting the tour in New York? Because that's where I saw you guys. So is that like you guys were across the fucking country to go meet up with the guys? Or
we started that tour in Indiana.
Oh, okay, still.
But I'm sure
still across the country.
It came through New York at some point.
No, I did for sure, because that's where I saw you guys. But I was just kind of picturing it on a map. Like it's New York is kind of like as far as it could be from where you guys are from, right? So 2.5 weeks is still a long time for routing, but you know,
it was insane. And like the shows were just, the band we were out with was awesome. They were called Distinguisher. They were great guys. We had so much fun just like hanging out with them and like still just being on the road with them. But the shows were really rough. And I think it's because we were playing just a lot of these like really middle of nowhere markets while we were still a very young band. Right. And we were just like so defeated after that 2.5 weeks. We were just like, are we able to do this, you know, type thing. And then that tour started and we were like, okay. Like,
yeah.
All right. This is legit. We're fucking doing this. Yeah. Just like you said, we're fucking doing this. So, yeah, we toured a shitload, man. We kind of just went for a long time.
But that really was kind of like where you guys started being taken more seriously, I guess, at the very least, from like booking agents and stuff. You guys went on in like the subsequent years off of that record to kind of tour with all, you were talking about Oceano being like a, you know, the legacy band, you know, but you guys kind of went off and did Carnifex, Suicide Silence, Whitechapel. You guys toured with like all the big bands from like the Myspace era that kind of paved the way for deathcore and stuff. Like, was that, I'm actually curious. You yourself, you're a few years younger than we are. Did you catch Myspace or like kind of that time for deathcore and stuff? Yeah,
yeah, for sure. I was there.
So I mean, like, were some of those bands, like, were you super into like all those bands, all those legacy bands? Like, was that like a bit of a trip? So was that a trip to then tour with all those bands? Yeah,
it is, man. It's also it's like. You learn a lot like touring and growing up and meeting a lot of the people that you used to idolize and being on the road with them and it. I wish, you know, okay, I'm not trying to just like, I have so many pleasant experiences with a lot of people in these bands, and that's been very like heartwarming for me, but I think it's also been very disheartening to have a lot of the experiences I did as well with a lot of the bands that I loved growing up and being like, fuck, this guy sucks. You know what I mean? And there was a lot of that too, bro. Like sometimes it outweighs the good. Like, it's just man. Sure. And like, but it teaches you a lot, bro. Cause you're just like, okay, well, I know not to what to fucking be like and shit. And you know, I don't know. But then there's also like, there's some great ones too, man. Like Whitechapel, bro. Whitechapel is fucking awesome. They're so goated, and Phil is great. Alex is great. All the guys are great, and they really care about us, and they stick their necks out for us. And I could tell they like look out for us while we're on the road, and like that's what you want to feel from like a band that is like a legacy band like that when you're on tour with them, right? You want to feel like they're looking out for you. Everyone's on the fucking tour. It's difficult out there. It's not easy. Everyone wants the tour to be successful. And I think that's what I learned is that, I mean, sure, who gives a fuck? No one's supposed to be looking after you, whatever. But you learn who really just doesn't give a fuck, you know? And then you learn who does. And like, I think, do you care about music? Do you care about the other bands in the scene? Do you care about what's going on? Like, it shows a lot when someone's just a fucking dickhead for no fucking reason, or just whatever, who can't control themselves, right? You're just like, all right, well, that guy sucks, moving on. Like, you know,
it's just unfortunate too. I mean,
it's
like,
unfortunate, dude.
Hey, don't meet your heroes type of moment for sure.
Exactly, bro. I feel like no one wants to talk about that shit, but it's been so real in my career, man. I've met so many people. And I'm like, damn, that sucks. But like, they're a person, bro, and I gotta like treat them like a person too, and like whatever. It's just close.
For what it's worth, it seemed to be working for you, because so far the only thing we've heard are good comments about you. So at least you're not giving you know,
I love to hear
you're
that.
not doing that thing to them. You're doing the opposite. So well,
I think we have great experiences headlining. We love taking out like bands we're friends with, and always trying to take out a couple of newer bands too, and showing them like the tour is supposed to be fun, and like you can hang out with us and it's a good time, and like you can be professional but also like get the job done and enjoy yourself, you know, like, and that like everyone should be approachable. We're all chill, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all are in it for the love of the game, you know. So what's the deal, you know? And I like being able to be at the top and be able to set that example, you know, have bands be like, that's what like a headliner should be like, or like that's what touring with a band like that is supposed to be like. So I don't know, at least I know, like, I don't want to say all the younger bands, all of them are my age too, but bands we tour with that are at our level and that or sit below us or at our same length or whatever, we always have that mutual respect. I notice that's common, right? The younger bands get it, you know, that are in, you know, in that smaller position, and they're trying and they're grinding and grinding, you know. It's like, who do they have to shit on, right?
Yeah. You wouldn't think so, at least. but
well, those guys don't make it, man, you know.
Yeah,
that's it.
Not anymore, bro. No one vouches for fucking shitheads anymore. Well, you know,
just don't. I don't know.
The world is so it's such a small scene too, you know, like everyone knows everyone in the scene at this point too, right? Like the touring world, for when it comes to deathcore, you know, it's not like you're not fooling anyone, you know. People talk, you know, it's one of those things too. So to your point, I think a lot of people kind of get not blacklisted, but you know, you learn real quick who we don't want to fuck with. And
true that.
Yeah. Like, but I guess for me, it's just like, I don't know, maybe I'm too much of a dreamer or idealistic maybe, but it's just like,
thinks assholes shouldn't exist.
No, but no, that's not, but it's, I never understood that. Like, there's not, for me, I don't see a positive in that. Like, what are you going to get by being like that? You know what I mean? Like, why would you do... What's the thing you're gonna get? Maybe the only thing is what you felt cooler for 5 seconds. Like that's what you get. I just don't understand what you get out of that.
You're thinking of it, I think, is a bit too deep. People aren't thinking about it that way.
That could be the problem. Yeah,
don't give a fuck at all.
that could be the problem. I don't know. I never toured. I know, Dom, you did and stuff like that. But my first vision would just be like, we're in this together. Like, what's the point of being like an asshole or bad with people? Like, you're doing the same thing. You share a passion. It's a beautiful thing. Like, what the hell would you be?
Egos, my man. That's what happens.
I guess. Yeah, I don't have much of an ego, I guess, but what's
your favorite band to tour with? Speaking of bands being good or bad, who do you have the
I
most fun with?
I can name some great bands. I can name those too.
Yeah. List of the
worst. No, I love touring with Boundaries. I love touring with Whitechapel. I think, dude, Revocation was so fucking cool to tour with. That's one band I look back, I'm like, they're one of the sickest bands ever, dude. That's I don't know if they get brought up in deathcore a lot, but they tour sometimes with deathcore adjacent stuff. They're more into like shreddy death metal, but goddamn, they're so good. Burials. I love touring with Burials. They're great. Throne was awesome to tour with too. We had a great time touring with Throne. They were really fun. Body Snatcher, bro. Body Snatcher fucking rocks to tour with. They're probably like
Chris the Goat.
You like, if you don't get along with Body Snatcher on tour, like you're fucked. Like,
you're the problem though.
You're the problem. You're the problem. Like,
honestly, you tell me you don't like these guys, I'm not trusting you in life.
Yeah. Chris is like he's like Sergeant Tor, dude. Like he would put everyone on his back if he could, and he would just, fucking carry you all the way, dude. Madame Zeroni, bro. He would just take you all the way up the fucking mountain, man. God bless fucking Chris Whited, man.
And the level of talent plus King Conquer, I mean, legend.
He's a legend, dude. He's a legend. I still listen to fucking King Conquer, man.
Oh my god.
I mean, you're talking about pissed off deathcore. I mean, that was it back then.
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. It still to this day holds up, and you're just like, Jesus Christ. Their singer sometimes used to I mean, I haven't seen him in a good while, but I'm still cool with him online and stuff, and he used to come to our shows, bro. And that dude's huge. He's like a scary big dude, he's super dope, like he rocks, but like, like he fits the like big ass scary vocalist like stereotype, and he like pitted for our set, and I remember just like looking up, it was in Colorado, and just watching this dude just like destroy people, and I was like like thank fuck I'm not down there, bro. Like, that guy was about his shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? He was about his shit. He played in like the heaviest band, and he moshed hard, and he was sick. Yeah.
People in the pit just being like, did I just get destroyed by the dude of King Conquer? Like, did that happen? Yeah. That's crazy. Insane. That whole band, by the way, I remember seeing the profile, because we were used to see like, I don't know, maybe it's not the right word, but more of maybe a scene aesthetic, right? Like the little dudes in the band. And then you saw King Conquer, and I was just like, those dudes, they look like they could, like beat up pretty much anybody in the world, like all full of tattoos. They're huge.
Yeah,
like, it was another kind of image. I fully remember.
Some like fucking motherfuckers came in. It was like King Conquer, Oceano, and like Molotov Solution, and like all those bands with like the big fronted vocalists, dude, that were just like fit for an autopsy, dude. All those like they're like like
Nate Johnson back in the day, like
yeah. Even Mitch Lucker too, bro. He had like, even though he wasn't like jacked or anything, he had a very big, tall like presence, right? And I think that's always when I like aspired, and like when I was going to shows when I was younger, I loved when the vocalists like scared me, like made me feel afraid or like intimidated me. And like the music was just so powerful. It was like, whoa, And I remember feeling that with like Oceano and Fit for an Autopsy, and watching those frontman and being like, those guys are fucking terrifying, dude. Like, that to me is deathcore. Like, deathcore is like scary, it's violent, it's aggressive, like it's not a fucking joke, like it's fucking legit, dude.
So,
anyway, I just kind of went off on a tangent. I'm sorry.
No, but
we're here for the tangents, for what it's worth. Like that's our entire thing. So,
but to touch on that for a second, like, because you say you kind of started the band, and you're like, nothing I'm hearing sounds like angry or pissed off enough, right? Like, was that just a sign of the times? Was that just like 2014? Those bands weren't around really doing that thing anymore.
It wasn't. I think some of it was instrumental. Like I did want it to just be like sound like something was kind of falling apart, and that, obviously it's been done before. Spike's not something that I don't think is like never been done before, but I think maybe we like we've reinvented it in our own way to whatever, in our own little pocket. With the vocals, I think a lot of it was vocally too, because I was again like so fucking pissed. And when you listen to like deathcore, and I love deathcore, I love like the like that and all the fucking the tones and all the crazy shit, but like I wanted to like scream, like I just wanted to like belt my fucking voice and have it shake and just rip my shit apart, and like that's what I wanted to do. And like to me, no one that I was listening to, I mean, there are people doing it, but not how I was doing it, not how I wanted to do it. Like, and I don't mean like not how I was doing it, but I mean just not how I was doing it, like and I just needed something that like fit that, right? And I think that kind of set the Spite sound or tone is that like manic yell, like unfiltered scream that doesn't really fall into like when people talk about gutturals or like high fries, low, whatever the fuck is going on, the Olympics and alphabet, who fucking knows, just like it was just pure like I'm fucking pissed off, this is what's coming out, like fuck you, right? And I think Spite, because I do love like obviously like deathcore vocals and all that shit, of course I do, but like, and I think that's in there too, and I think we found a sweet spot, as our discography expanded, where we were able to explore the genre more of metal and not have it be so pocketed. And I could find the right balance of having those screams and also doing the cool like deathcore vocals in there. And I think they all kind of play with each other to have like a good impact and you know what I mean, dance around each other like that. I think we always kind of got like when we first started, mostly honestly up until Dedication to Flesh, kind of got put in this like really in the beginning, the down tempo thing. We were just like the breakdown band, and I'm like, if you listen to our music, I mean, after the self-titled, there's so much there's so much depth in that shit. Like
that's why I brought it up earlier, because I really feel like that was just the era. Like that's what all the bands were doing. That was what was hot. But I never viewed you guys as like a part of that. Like to me, the sound was different than downtempo. It wasn't the same kind of breakdowns. It wasn't the same kind of vocals either, and just I don't know, there's just something more to it.
And we touched on it sometimes, for sure.
But
especially in the old shit.
Consider the band that, right? Like,
no way, man, no way. And like I don't know. To me, I'm like, how do you listen to this song and you tell me that's like a down tempo deathcore song? Like it's just not. Like I don't know, but I do think that having that core element of, and my brother's talked about this in some interviews. So he said for himself, I'm like, I hate talking about myself like this, but he says like my voice holds that together, right? So if my voice there makes it Spite, and as long he allows him to like play with the guitar and try different things, and it's still gonna sound like us. It's still gonna always be aggressive, but we don't have to always just do the straight slower and slower breakdown or like the open shit just gets tired, bro. You think like I love breakdowns, man. I love all that heavy stuff, but I get tired of listening to it too when there's just no dynamic and there's no flow and the whole record sounds the same and it's just all just like stim fucking music the whole time and you forget it, we're trying to make something that like, again, like it's the stuff we grew up on. We grew up listening to fucking records from front to back. And my brother says this too, like some songs maybe weren't the single banger worthy, whatever, but they fit their place on the record. And when you listen to it, it makes you feel something and it belongs there. And like, not everything is supposed to be, you put out a song and it's like, where's the big fucking, why didn't they give me this in this song? Not every song needs to be a breakdown with the slowed formula and the fucking crazy vocal to make you go, whoa. And like it's just, I feel like people are so trained now to think like, when you put out a song, it's supposed to fucking be like that now when you're playing metal music, and it's not. And I think continuing to make music the way we do is what's gonna make us a timeless band, where you can go back to those records. And you're like you said, it was that down tempo time, but you go back and you're like, those aren't down tempo riffs. Those riffs still hold up. You know what I'm saying? I want to make shit that like isn't just now. You know?
Yeah, I think it comes down also, like what I'm hearing is there's no gimmicks like that. I think that's the biggest thing I'm hearing in all of that. Like nothing, I feel like nowadays, as you said, there's a lot of just strategic music writing. Like that part is going to be that part, and it's going to be a moment for us. With you guys, it's more of I'm hearing like it's more of a natural emotion thing. So like what I'm hearing is, for you, it's the stage presence is important because what you do, you're feeling it for real. Like the emotion is there. Same thing with your vocals. You can hear the emotion, and not to put down anybody, because like anything can be cool. It's always subjective. But I feel like the more mechanical you go and the more technical and stuff like that, sometimes you lose some of the emotion. It becomes more, I don't know, like rigged or something. But in your case, with you guys, there's no gimmick. There's nothing like that. You can hear the power. It's funny you said that, because that was a conversation we had prior to it. I was saying I can hear that it's loud, that it's strong, like in your voice, which is I think something that's making it more timeless. Like so what I'm hearing is a lot of emotion through the process. It's not, you guys are not looking at it like a strategy, or just like, oh, we're going to be this band that does that. You're doing your thing and you're feeling it, and that's what you get, no matter. Would that be like a fair statement?
Absolutely. And like, again, like it kind of exactly that. Like there's so many ways that we can accomplish heavy, pissed off, aggressive, vengeful, just like violent music, and try different things, you know. Like there's so many ways to make that happen. And spite I think is always going to have that. I don't think we're ever going to like be like a singing band and, you know, try all these whatever, you know. But I think that we're always just going to have fun with metal music, you know, because we fucking love it, dude. You know. I think that's also another cool element about Spite, is sometimes, you know, we really did with these 3 singles, right? You kind of just don't really know what you're going to get, but you know, it's going to be Spite, right? So it's like, the whole album is like that. Every song is very different, you know? So it's sick.
Last album was like that too, for what it's worth. Mm-hmm. I feel like every song kind of had like its own thing, and taken into a different direction.
That record was like an Alex brainchild for sure. I mean, that he spent so fucking long composing that record, man. And eventually we're gonna want to do a record that way again for sure, you know, just so we can, you know. And it's not like I'm saying like, you know, more time was spent on that record. It's like a lot. It's just a different record. This one is just, we made it with a different headspace. We're never trying to remake the same thing ever, you know. So there's always fun ways to just keep it going, dude.
Right. And to your point, like that can even just be from a process standpoint in how you're creating the record, or what the limitations are, or who you're doing it with, the environment, all these things. Like all this stuff kind of contributes to, you know, having a different experience with it, right?
Just, I have like a super random thing real quick, like, as you're talking about albums and like, you know, front to back, do you have, just for people listening or whatever, like a good example of that, like an album that is timeless, that you even nowadays, like maybe you were listening back then and you're still listening to it and you're like, that album is just perfect? Doesn't have to be their deathcore at all, by the way.
There's some that I like. I like don't want to mention now because just right,
You've gotten shit in the past.
Times have changed, brother. People have done some things and some stuff.
Oh, okay,
but,
I see.
You know, I think that both Whitechapel, This Is Exile, and as far as deathcore goes, like Whitechapel, This Is Exile, and A New Era of Corruption, man, I think is my favorite Whitechapel record. I love that one from front to back. It's just very moody, very dark. Phil sounds so scary on that record. I don't know. I love that one. One album I refer back to, I think, is is the one that I hate saying, but An Ocean's Between Us by As I Lay Dying is just like you know, and I won't listen to that band anymore. I fucking don't, you know, it just hurts to do it. You know what I mean? Like it's painful, man. But at the time, you know.
No, but still, yeah, they were like, let's be honest, like we all grew up, like it was like the biggest freaking metalcore bands for forever. You know what I mean? Like they were huge. They were still that. It's just like a super unfortunate.
You know, man, there was fucking there was the thing with him where, you know, he did the obvious shit with his wife and all that stuff. I don't give a fuck. I'll talk about this shit. I don't care. I think people gave him the pass when he came back. It's like he went to prison and there was like the idea of the reform, right?
Yeah.
And there's I can get that side too, because that's why there's that process, right? But then the guy's out fucking doing it again like crazy shit, and he kicks his fucking dog. Okay, like there's just no fucking dude that justifies kicking their dog like that. I'm sorry. So like no matter what stance you're on here at this point, that happened and there's video of it. So like suck my nuts. Like, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dude.
Yes.
Look, I hate that can be seen as a controversial opinion, because let's be honest, the three of us are in complete agreement here. Dude. But it is one of those things that's been wild to see, man.
What the fuck, man?
No, but I think you have a point. I think you have a point. Remove everything he's done past that. Just that was like that's just that by itself. It's too much.
I don't want to like, you know, go super deep into it, but I do have to say, like, you know, because I'm going to talk about As I Lay Dying. I'm not going to gas this motherfucker up. Like, fuck that dude. Like, fuck that band. Like, not the band. 1000%. I love the band. It's not the band. It is not the band. Excuse me. But I won't listen to them again. That's all I'm saying.
No, but I think it's fair to say it's the general feeling, and you know, even like without going too much in detail, I have a YouTube channel making videos, and sometimes I mention, because like musically I mention and every time I'm like, you know what I mean? Like it's just I don't want to, but it's just like I'm gonna mention it real quick. So it is a thing, but at the same time, you know, as you said, it's like.
The circus,
it's impossible to root for someone like that. I'm really sorry.
They make it real hard for us, or really easy, whatever way you want to.
That album at the time was a very influential record, and it has all of those things. And the musicianship on that record makes it what it is. It's 100%. Incredible. So, like, 100%. All of those guys should get their flowers.
Yes, exactly. That's true.
But I want to continue with some deathcore shit.
And sorry, I know my question is random. I was just curious.
No, not at all. Like, no. I'm just no. You're totally good.
Just cool to know what you think, right, about albums and stuff.
I'll tell you what I think.
Oh, go for it.
No. I'm just saying. I'll tell you know in general.
Well, look, you mentioned being around MySpace and all this stuff. You have any like random niche bands you were into from the MySpace era? Maybe it's because they're local, or maybe it's just general MySpace bands from back in the day. I'd be curious about. We're all about the MySpace deathcore here, so I'm curious.
We are.
Yeah, I loved Elijah. I was obsessed with that band. That guy was a very good example of the vocals that I think I was really trying and enjoyed going for with Spite in the beginning, because he had that sound that was just like it just was like so scary, and you could hear the spit coming out, and it was just like that was it. It was like, I'm not trying to be like this controlled low guttural sound, and it was just like, I'm so upset and pissed off, and this is what's coming out of me. It just sounds so violent, right? So Elijah was one. I Shot the Sheriff. I Shot the Sheriff is a band from California. They were from where we were from, so I got to see them. And I was obsessed with them too, bro.
That makes us jealous if you live to tell the tale as well, to be able to see them live. That's jealousy.
Yeah, man.
From our parts.
I don't know what happened. I used to have on a shirt I bought from that show. That was a time, bro. But I Shot the Sheriff was a huge one for me. There's this band called 5 Characters in Search of an Exit. They weren't crazy deathcore. They were a little more like, if you listen to like oh man, I don't even know what to compare them to. They're kind of wild, but like almost it's similar to like Arsonists Get All the Girls, in the sense that they were very wild, like very wild all over the place. I imagine some bands like probably like the Chariot and stuff probably sound like similar to that. Just kind of it's hectic sounding, but they would like go all over the place, right? And then all of a sudden they would lock in on just like the most straightforward MySpace fucking breakdown. And you're just like, and the shows were nuts, and like everyone would just go fucking wild. And like they were a staple for me growing up. 5 Characters in Search of an Exit. You could probably find them on Spotify somewhere.
Yeah, someone in chat saying they did a song with Arsonists Get All the Girls, so that makes sense.
Hell yeah. Okay, so they know what's up.
Arsonists Get All the Girls are kind of local to you too, right? Am I crazy?
They are. They're from Santa Cruz, so they're from pretty close. Yeah, man, I grew up listening to them a lot too. I loved Arsonists Get All the Girls. That was a MySpace band I was super into for sure. Yeah, those were probably my like top ones that like, especially because they were local too. I really liked being able to like see the bands live and shit. I went to like, I was into the old Chelsea Grin. I remember going to I was at the Sonnet of the Wretched music video shoot at the Boardwalk in Sacramento. I got to see that like when they were like putting out Desolation of Eden, you know what I mean? Like, so that was like a cool thing to witness. But yeah, I went to a lot of shows growing up. I loved the music scene. I loved being involved and having small bands and meeting new people and just networking that way. I think that's I credit that to why Spite is part of what we are now. I think that we worked with a lot of people like growing up, and I think that we like networked well and yeah, I don't really know what else to say, but we were like we were part of our scene, you know, for sure. I think really that's cool. Important.
Do you have some, I don't know, like self-realization moments when you meet, you know, your fans and stuff like that? Because you're talking about like what the scene was for you and growing up, but now you're in that position. Like you're the band that people wants to see and stuff like that. You know, do you remember how it felt like maybe the first times you would meet people and people would be like, hey, listen to those lyrics, or do you remember like how surreal maybe that was for you, or was it kind of natural?
It was natural. I mean, it happened pretty quick with Spite, you know, which was really cool. I mean, me and Cody and Alex used to be so stoked on it. Like people started getting tattoos really early on and shit. It was wild, bro. Like it kind of just like you know. But I really have a lot of love for our fans. And I think like that has been a huge part again as to why our band is so successful, is that like we care about our fans. Just as far as like, not like, you know, we're going to write music for you, but like we think about our fan base when writing stuff. Of course we do. And also like, we want to put on the best performance possible. We want to be the best fucking thing we can be and give like the best experience. And I love going out to the merch table and like talking and hanging out with people and just like sharing a story or a beer, or fucking whatever, you know, shooting the shit over a shirt. Like that shit is something I enjoy doing at every show. I love being at the show and watching all the other bands play. And I don't really think I ever get tired of that. I mean, I get physically tired sometimes, you know, but I do enjoy that aspect of it, of being able to feel like I can impact things positively that way. Like, I know Spite's got this very angry thing to it, but like, we're obviously in this genre because all of us feel this kind of sense of being an outcast, or having these issues and anger that we don't really know where to go, and metal becomes the safe haven for people, right? So I feel like we should treat it as such. And I feel like, no, I'm not gonna like go around responding to everyone's messages and fucking shit like that. I just can't. But like, while I'm there and I'm present and I'm at a show, like, I will take the time to like take a fucking picture with you and hang out, do the best I can. Like, that shit's always fucking dope. It's cool. My whole band is approachable. Everyone's nice guys, and I feel like every band should fucking be that way. So
should.
Yeah. Okay. Every band should fucking be that way, man. For real. Yeah.
The bar is low, but here we are.
Yeah.
No. But
what I mean, you're talking about kind of talking about fans and fandom in general. I think there's something to be said about your guys' fan, but there's the whole concept of the Spite cult, and you guys say Spite and Spite cult in the songs. That's been a staple of the Spite sound as well. But I do feel like there's, and maybe this harkens back also to like, that original logo that's like still around too. Like what do you think it is? That there is something, I think, with your fan base towards you guys that I think people get really invested in. I don't know if it's like the universe you guys are creating. I don't know. There's something that people seem to latch on to, maybe more than just any other band,
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak for my fan base, but I do think that we always do everything with authenticity. And that's just a huge thing in our band. Like, shit doesn't mean shit to us if it's not done with integrity, And I think that just naturally comes off to people and makes things believable because it's real, and you don't have to try to believe it. It just is what it is. And like, when it's right in front of you like that, what are you going to do? It's like, deny it. It's legit, And I think maybe that's what it is that it's very unfiltered. It's very real. And like our live show is like fucking analog. It's cabs on stage, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's just like kind of like takes out the bullshit of metal, and it's just like down to the business of it, So I think like if I was, fucking, that's why I started the band, right? I wanted to be that. So like, I want to put on the show that I would want to see, right? Like, I want to make the music I would want to hear as this person that loves this shit and that wants to make it. So yeah, I'm lucky that it reached people the way it did, and that people just seemed to resonate with it like that. And yeah, I think if it was real for me, so if it's real for someone else, man, fuck yeah, even if it's in your own way,
Mm-hmm.
Well
said. It's been real.
No, but it's true. Honestly, in terms of I keep saying like you cannot go wrong with authenticity, and it's true. Like it's because if you don't like the music, it's one thing, but with at least it's real. Like if it's real, then people can feel these things. The last thing you want to do, I think, as an artist is to maybe think people are stupid or they don't realize these things. People are they're gonna understand if it's real or if it's not, if you're putting a front or you're not. And someday maybe it's gonna work at first, but at some point people are gonna see it. So it's better to be yourself than to be real.
I think that comes with like the standing the test of time thing, because right now we're in this like era of like, it's like the fast fashion of music. You know what I mean? Just like people just shit out music. Everything sounds like it's not thought twice about. It's overproduced as fuck. Nothing sounds real. You're so tired of hearing the same thing. Every band that used to be a band is now putting out something that sounds like this. There's just this sound that everyone does now, and it drives me fucking nuts, man. Like, it's just like, it's so disappointing every time I hear a band put a song out and I'm like, oh, it's got this thing now. And it's just like, people are getting really tired of it. People are getting tired of the TikTok shit. people are getting tired of like the AI stuff. And I think people are going to start coming back to the underground and being like, I want real, authentic metal. I want to hear the fucking guy hit the fucking drum set. You know, I want to see the amps on stage. You know what I mean? I don't want to see people like dancing for 30 seconds to get like a hot clip. Like, I want to fucking listen to an album that I sit in my room in the dark and makes me fucking feel something. Fuck. Like, sorry, but like, man, I think we're hitting this like turning point. I could feel it in my body, and I'm happy to be putting out a record like this at this point, because it's just showing people that we are not fucking doing that. You know, it's important to us. It's very important to us.
It's awesome though. Like, and I hope you're gonna take it as a compliment, but like what I'm hearing, like I made this huge video about Slipknot, right? And Iowa was a very important, like very just crazy dark thing, but it was like very, I heard that it was very real. Like I heard interviews and stuff like that, and all those bands that you see that made it, that are timeless or are huge, no matter if you like their recent stuff or not, like they have that aspect of realness for the most part. You know, it's something. If you go with the gimmicks and what's cool at the moment, you might be cool at the moment, and then you look back and you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
and then the person that started the trend, like, let them have the win, bro. Like, let them, they did it. They already did it. So like, as soon as you're trying to do that again, you're already like on the second thing, you know what I mean? So it's like, you're trying to be second best, you know what I mean? Not that like looking at a competition sense, but it's like, clearly like the intent is to copy someone, right? Like, you know, like, fuck, just, you get tired of it. And like, there's a difference between like being influenced by something, right? And then just doing this rehashed crap over and over, right? I think there's a huge, there's a line, you know?
Yeah. You can do like a little wink or a little kind of a love letter sometimes in the song, just to honor someone or like an artist that you like. It's something very good. It's something that I like hearing, but like there's also, let's be honest, sometimes you're just like, oh, so you're trying to be that. Like that's another, it's like the line when it's the other thing, when it's just like, let's be like this band. I think you're wrong since the start. Like personally, like let's do this. I mean, let's
do what this band did. Let's follow this formula because this worked for someone else. You know? Yeah, man, I get sick and tired of that shit.
Yeah. I think
you're 1,000% right though when you say that people, the pendulum is starting to swing on the other side. Look, I mean, with what we do here, a big focus of ours, a lot of bands that we kind of interview and fuck with is like this new wave of Myspace deathcore, this sound from like the Myspace era, but it's 16 to 20-year-old kids doing it of today, you know? and it's that attitude. It's not even necessarily for like the style itself, but you can feel that it's really just coming from a fuck you. I want this to be like as raw as possible, and not in a gimmicky way. Just like, we don't want this to be overproduced. We're fed up with this. We don't want to do what everyone else is doing. And there's this like youthful energy to it. This like, it's almost naive, but like that's what it was back in the day, right? It was just like kids just shitting music out, like, and having fun with it, right? And we're seeing this wave of bands doing that, even within deathcore and stuff. And it's been really refreshing to see. For a minute there, I didn't think we would be having bands like that again, not even necessarily the style, but like that kind of energy to it. And it's been cool to see. I think we're going to get more and more of those in the coming years for sure.
I do enjoy that you know, it's being called the Myspace revival, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously there's some people that are doing it like shit, like everything else. And then there's some bands that are doing it and it fucking rocks, you know, and they're doing it with like, it's genuine, you know? And they definitely stand out. We're doing a headliner for our new record in the new year. And we have a couple bands that I mean, the whole lineup is fucking ridiculous, but a couple bands that fit in that category that I think people are going to be really stoked to see on the bill with us. And I love taking out again, like a newer, younger band that can just like fucking crush it on the road, you know. And I think this band as a band, people are gonna be like, their fans are gonna be really excited that they're doing this tour, and then like people that know about them are gonna be, you know, or people that don't know about them are gonna be like, whoa, this band's crazy, and they're gonna get like a bigger, you know, thing. So that's dope.
It'll match your guys' vibe, right? I think that's it too, right? Because that's what you guys are trying to do. That's what you guys are achieving, is like this no bullshit kind of attitude to it. So having another band that has that same kind of ethos is like for sure. Like people that fuck with you guys are gonna fuck with that sort of band too, for sure.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Cool. I've probably never been more excited for a Spite headliner. People are gonna be stoked. The lineup's locked in like way ahead of time. I'm just like, I can't wait. I can't say shit, but you brought up this genre, so I can hint that a band like that's gonna be on this or two.
Which is making us very happy at the moment. That's awesome.
The headliner you guys did for the previous record, you mentioned Throne earlier and Body Snatcher. You guys had Psycho Frame on that. And that was like some of their first shows. And that's been a band we've been crazy fucking stoked on. Now, we gotta talk about Rollover Dispatch and all that.
Psycho Frame, my only gripe was that they were on the tour longer. They were only on just like a short leg of it. So I was like, we're gonna have to do something again, you know? No. But yeah, they're fucking awesome, dude. I think Hunter's a fucking madman. He's a genius. And I think he is he needs to get his flowers in the music scene as well, you know? That he is involved in so much of the music that people love coming out right now, you know, and that dude like just sits there and puts his fucking soul in it, you know what I'm saying? So and you can hear that in Psycho Frame, dude. That dude just grinds on that shit. It's fucking ridiculous, you know. And I know the other guys help out with that too. So they're a really sick band. They're a band that like, when I first heard, I was like, this is so cool, but like, it's ridiculous. Are they going to do it? You know? And then when they start like playing shows and like, and they were on the tour with us, I was like, this band fucking rocks. Like, you know, like, fuck yeah, you know?
You had to bring them out just to validate if they could pull it off.
Yeah, man.
You had to see it for yourself. Yeah.
No, I believe they could do it, but yeah, you know, for sure. They're, I love the duo vocalist thing they're doing too. And, they both sound crazy up there, and it's just I love that stuff, man. Like again, like it's like a new way of kind of like bringing back that genre, but also making it fresh. But it's also new, but also nostalgic. You know, it's very cool. I love that shit. They're doing some cool stuff.
Yeah, it's like we say all the time. It's like it's when you have a hard time putting a band in you know, in a box or something, it's a good sign. Like Psycho Frame, it's like they're associated with the revival, but at the same time they're not, like they're their own thing. And to me, it's a good indicator. When you have a hard time saying that band is this, I think it's a good sign. It means you have your sound, your sound. So
I think that I would kind of credit. I mean, I could be ignorant, but I would kind of credit Psycho Frame for kind of like bringing that trend back a little bit to like start making that music again that way, and just, you know, I mean, at least from what I saw, and in my opinion, like they started doing that shit, and then all these other bands kind of started popping up right after that were like kind of just like, all right, we're gonna not do it the same way, but we're gonna like kind of do that MySpace shit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's cool, bro.
Yeah, we've been seeing some Psycho Frame knockoffs as well.
For sure.
It's been a thing, you know. But
yeah, that means they did it right, though. You know,
exactly.
So.
Yeah,
did. The whole thing.
The way I see it, like there were like a couple bands that you know kind of kickstarted the movement, but then Psycho Frame really stepped up and was like, nah, we're really gonna make this cool. Like we're really gonna make people listen to this shit and pay attention. And like they're the band for sure. That's like spearheading that entire kind of side of the scene for sure. But
I think
and
so.
They share what you guys have, which is having their own aesthetic, their own world. When you look at it, you can, earlier you were talking about like the skull and like recognizing like Spy, the universe. Like I think Psycho Frame really nailed that part as well. Like if you look at their cover art, like everything they do and stuff. So there's something to be said about that, right? Like when it's real and you pay attention and it's not like a gimmick or anything, like you're stepping in, it makes all the difference in the world. Like from the get-go, and you just said that it was the same for you guys, but from the get-go, people take you seriously. Yeah. It's like, okay, it's something, it's a different
you can tell
kind
they really
of
give a shit.
world. Yeah, exactly. Care about it.
So what about Rollover Dispatch? When are we getting more Rollover Dispatch? I'm itching for some new Rollover Dispatch.
Yeah, I'm glad you fuck with that. I feel like it kind of falls into that category a little bit. I have 2 other songs in the chamber. I just kind of put it on hold for a little bit just while Spite rolls stuff out. I think it's a bit of a conflict of interest to just be releasing another band while this is coming out. But that time will come after, this has been out for a little bit. I'll get back to working on that. I'm definitely not done with it by any means. Like I love that shit.
That's cool. That's all I wanted to hear, man. I'm
happy,
man.
No, I definitely I'll make that a bigger thing when the right time comes. And I don't mean that by like a touring band or anything, but I'll be putting more work into that and expanding on the whole Rollover Dispatch thing more.
I mean, where did it kind of stem from? Like why another band? Why, and then these songs with Hunter, and like I'm curious how that even kind of came together.
There was a period of time where Spite was just touring really heavy, and Alex just wasn't like writing Spite at the time. I mean, we had come out with Dedication to Flesh, and that was fresh, and we just had been doing a shitload of touring off of that. And again, we don't really write on the road, for Spite. So it was kind of like just like another outlet for me while I didn't have Spite to work on, and I still wanted to like make songs and make crazy shit. And when Hunter put out Psycho Frame, I heard that and I was like, this guy kind of can do what I would like to do, right? This is the sound that I grew up on, and that's what I would like to do, just like Unfiltered, and like Spite, it is different than Spite. Like I feel like still accomplishes a similar thing, but it doesn't sound the same, and I don't want it to at all. But it gives me more fun to explore the deathcore side of things, and if people want to hear me do a little more vocal fucking Olympic shit, they could hear me do it on that. But like it's just really for fun, man, and blow off steam and write about stuff that maybe I wouldn't want to write about in Spite, because there's so many eyes on Spite, and some of the stuff is just like, I'm literally not thinking twice about Rollover Dispatch. I'm just like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Like, it's just like, it's like my fucking shit list. And I don't even have the lyrics out right now. Maybe eventually I'll put them out, but they're fucking fucked up. So like, I'm like, I don't know. Right now, I'm like, we'll get there. We'll get there. But I do love, I love that Unfiltered, I love the old deathcore sound where people used to talk about like killing sluts and shit. It's just it was a time that I grew up on, and I thought that shit was dope when I was growing up. And obviously it's not real. It's like a fucking but I loved like the Infinite Death, Thy Art, era of deathcore, and like just the you fucking whore shit. I was like, let's bring back some of that like old deathcore. Not everyone might agree with me, but
I mean, look, some people are here for it, evidently. So I'll say that much.
Do you find yourself sometimes like just like small crossover in which like you're about to do something for Spite or for the other thing, and then you're like, no, that's more fitting for the like? Is there like some little moments like that, or never really happened because like it's a different mindset?
I think it's a different mindset.
Okay,
so I think it is. I don't really like think it really dabbles in the same thing. Like I just take thing like kind of like per song as I have it in front of me, you know? And I don't think that like Rollover Dispatch has the spite sound, so naturally it just doesn't really come out sounding like that when I'm writing for it, you know?
Pretty separate. It's not.
Yeah.
I'd love to kind of touch on that, like the kind of you even alluded to it. You're like, maybe not everyone's like, you know, here for that sort of those sort of lyrics or that sort of material, right? But I think there is a conversation to be had about like, you know, art for the sake of art, and it's not like you know, it's the like same thing with movies. It's you know, it's just it doesn't mean what you're screaming or putting into pen to paper is like something you wish happens in the real world, or you know, it's stories.
Yeah, it's not always literal. Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like it's like depicting a horror movie or something like that, you know. Sometimes that's just how you like you express yourself through a story or through the character of somebody else or through a scenario or through like, you know what I'm saying? Like not everything is like because I said this in a song, that's what I'm doing or I am, or you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're allowed to have that artistic expression, you know. Do
you think we're kind of losing that right now in like kind of I guess maybe the state of the world, as you could say it?
100%. Yeah. I think some people are going against it for sure, but like I don't want things to be like that. I want to be able to say whatever the fuck we want, you know, and do what we want.
Dude, like I cannot tell you how pissed I am when I see, you know, when they take like a 20-year-old movie and they're just like cutting apart because like it's like an animated movie and they're just like, that part. I'm always like, what are you like, what? You know what I mean? Like what are like it's I keep saying that, right? We grew up with like fucked up shit, honestly, like American Pie and just like Viva la Bam, like all those crazy Jackass, whatever, you know, that's the era we grew up in. And I still, to be honest, I still watch that stuff. Like
I'm still watching it to feel something.
So I have a freaking library of all those movies here, and it's like someone who would be like, well, it's not like I just enjoy those movies. I feel like people find problems when there's no problem. Like it's just, do you like the song? No, cool, no problem. You don't like those lyrics? Cool, don't listen to it. Like it should be as simple as that. Who's forcing you? I don't like that, so don't listen to it. Like who's like, what are you doing? Like I don't understand. Like you know.
It's as simple, man. It's just like if everyone just accepted that not everyone is going to think the way that you do, you'd be all good.
Yes.
Like it's just like chill out, man. Like chill.
But there's
I know obviously there's lines. But like, yeah. But like there's so much petty shit and reaching out right now that is just like so. It's like let's dial it back and look at like our values here and look at like what are we really angry about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's I think it's just went a little too far and it's getting reeled back in a little bit. Then I think we're finding our balance again, you know. But there was a while, man, where just like people were just at each other's throats for anything and everything, and it just stopped to just be a person, like you know, like for anybody, like so. And I think people are starting to at least I hope, and I'm starting to feel a shift in a way where people are just starting to look at things from a more like compassionate sense, where it's just like, hey, like I should just be treating you like a good person just because I should be doing that, you know, just because I should, not thinking about what you do throughout the day or what you're interested in, what music you listen to or what you believe in or whatever the fuck, man. But like in my day-to-day interaction with people, it's just like, why wouldn't it be like a pleasant, just right? Like
regardless. Yeah.
Regardless. And if you don't act like that, like you suck. You just suck, you know? I don't know.
No, it's true. And I think, you know, like, and again, it's probably a dreamer in me talking, but it's just, there's no point. Again, there's no point to me. Like, you look at those comments, and I'm sure a lot of it is rage baiting online. I'm aware that a lot of it is just like people want attention. It's a good way to get it, like a kid, basically. But my vision is always like, you see these people being upset for something completely stupid. I mean, it's a trailer for like an animation movie, and I'm like, that's your battle? Like, you're very upset right now for that, and they're in the comment, and next thing you know, they're fighting about something completely different. I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I'm like, that's what you want to do with your time. Like, you're fighting over, you saw a trailer for Toy Story, and you're insulting that person for their beliefs or something. I'm like, that's
real.
I don't know. I just don't understand. I'm not built like that, I guess. Like, I just don't understand that part. Like, it's never, I get it that it's part of it now, but every time I'm like, I think it's an internet thing. Could be wrong, but I feel like it was different back then because it wasn't like that, like in real life, with all due respect, people would be like, shut up. You know what I mean? Like,
we pick and choose where these issues happen. Also, let's be real though, like, there's like, I don't feel like death metal necessarily gets for like the lyric stuff. Like, I feel like it's like understood that it's never going to change for death metal. So it is what it is. And like, people don't really bat an eye, but for some reason in deathcore, it became like an issue, the same kind of lyrics. I don't know. It's like, we'll say it for one thing, but we won't for movies. Like, movies are okay. I don't know. It's like a weird.
That's true.
There's like no
Where's
logic to
the
it.
line? Also, right? Like, it's fine. And again, to your point, like with a band, it's fine. They have everything is okay. And then this other band, like, it's that for you in that context, it's wrong. Like,
Cannibal Corpse isn't getting canceled. Like, what are we doing here?
It's fucked up.
Yeah, shit drives me nuts, man. The way people pick and choose their battles, that's what drives me nuts, because it's just being vocal about one thing and silent about another thing, and it's interesting to watch. It's interesting to watch from the sideline, watching the fucking circus, and see people fucking lose their minds sometimes. I'm just like, Jesus, like, I'm just happy I'm not that, So,
but hey, here we are getting all upset on a podcast instead.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
true.
But you know what? Hey, but like, I think it's important that we can sit here and talk about it in like with face value and discuss these things. That is always encouraged. I think discussion 100%. Is always good. So like, fuck yeah, I think that the internet discourse is fucking gross, and then you can get on here and have real conversations with people. That shit goes a long way,
Yeah. Thank you.
I think you have
a good point.
Real human interaction. It's like, it's kind of what Lights Out is about, bro. It's just like people get so, like, people feel the need to have to say something on the internet to just prove whatever opinion point, whatever, and for what? And you say it to the wrong person who has nothing to lose, and someone might fucking kill you. You know what I'm saying? But you had to say your stupid fucking thing on the internet, and for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you put yourself in that position, be prepared to reap the consequences of what you put out in the world, because that shit will fucking come back around. Like, think about what you say. Think about like having real conversations with people and not going to a stranger on the internet who you saw them tweet something and start a war with someone you don't fucking know. Like, it's just people are really, really comfortable right now.
Yes.
And it's
would they
dangerous.
Say that in real life too?
It is dangerous. And I guarantee you, if you had a disagreement with someone, maybe not guarantee you, obviously there's psychos who are in real life psychos, but like, if people had real life discourse and were able to get in front of each other, there'd be a lot more people getting together and a lot more people having understanding for each other, or like being able to see another side, or maybe agree to disagree, or like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what people used to do back in the day before all the iPhones and shit. People actually, they saw something in the newspaper, and then they had to go to their job or their school or their whatever, and they had to see people and they had to talk about it with them, And it's just a little out of control now, for sure. So I think it's always it's always good to get on here on things like this and talk. Who gives a fuck, man? You know?
Thanks. No, you're right. I think it's one of the most important thing. Even talking, I think there's a lot of values in talking respectfully with people that has a complete opposite opinion of you, like total opposite of you. Like, where's the growth in only talking with people that shares the exact same thing? Like, where in the, it's fun, but there's no growing if your opinions are not challenged, or you cannot even hear someone who has a different opinion. It's a weird thing. We're supposed to be able to just be like, oh, this is what you think, and believe it or not, it's fully possible to just be like, oh, so we disagree, no problem, it's okay, like we don't share the same. That's doable, and there's no problem in that. You don't have to fight or to convince the person that it's okay if they don't share what you just said. I think it's a thing that should be encourageable more, to be able to talk in like total respect, just respectfully, even if in your mind you're like, that's kind of fucked up, but just right, but just like, it's okay, we disagree,
unless you're kicking your dog.
Oh, there we go. There are exceptions. If you're hurting animal like that, I'm sorry. I'll be honest. I consider myself like a good person, but if I see that shit in real life, I won't be a good person. Like there are exceptions for sure. But you have a good point. In real life, it would be different. Like internet, and not to get too dark, because I could be getting started a lot. But also for the what you said, like when you comment on someone, you never know what people are going through. I know people talk about that a lot, but mental health and stuff like that, you never know. Your shitty comments for no reason, maybe that person that day, it's gonna be too much, right? So like I think people should understand the power of words. Like, it's just something I want to bring up, because it's really important. You never know where they're at, the news they just got, like what's going on in their head. And even if for you it's funny somehow, who knows, to insult someone or anything, you don't know the impact of that. Maybe that person or even is going to have to heal from that for a while. So I'm just saying it's not worth it. Is it going to change something that I said that? No, I'm saying it anyway. So that's what I think.
Yeah. All right. Let's I've got some quick rapid fire stuff to wrap up afterwards, sure. But we can't have this conversation and not talk about horror movies for a second. We're already kind of there anyway. So I want to know what top horror movies. What are you into?
I think probably my favorite horror movie all time is probably it's like the two early 2000s Leatherface remake movies. The one with like Jessica Biel in it and stuff. Fucking so good. The way they like film that movie makes you feel like disgusting, you know? Everything has that like yellow, green, brown tint to it. Everyone's like sweaty, there's like flies everywhere, and like it just like you feel like you could smell it, you know what I mean? And I love how atmospheric and how gross that movie makes you feel, and that's what I hate about modern movies, how like polished everything is and shit. And when I turn on a horror movie and I see it all like Netflixed out and fucking, I'm like, fuck, you know, like, you know, most of the time I watch everything anyway, but it pisses me off. But I love that, like how gnarly that one is, and how like just big and scary Leatherface is in that one. And when he first like just like opens the door and comes like running out with the fucking chainsaw, like fucking horrifying, dude. Like that to me is like, of all the slashers, if I saw that thing coming at me, I'd just freeze. You know what I'm saying? It's so scary. And just the way he like slams his door and like, but they really made you feel like you were like in that movie, and just the characters all looked really warped and just like, you know, just ugly and gross. And
just weird enough.
So those are definitely my like, they're like comfort movies for me, you know what I mean? Like I like to watch those. They're fun. I think as far as like a very effective horror movie, modern one, Hereditary, I know that gets talked about I'm sure all the time, but that was just a movie that like made a very like lasting impact on me when I left the theater. And like that's again what I look for, is to be kind of like disturbed and shaken up and kind of be kept up at night. And that movie definitely did that for me. Same with Sinister, when that first came out too. I really loved that one. That was a good modern horror movie, I think. But yeah, I watch kind of just like I'm on like my streaming things all the time, and sometimes I'm watching movies like I've never heard of, and like I'm just kind of just aimlessly watching stupid horror movies, and most of the time they suck, you know. But like I like diving into that realm of stuff. You know, sometimes you find these weird, you know, ones that you're like, what the heck? Like,
well, what's the worst horror movie to exist?
The worst one?
I have one, I don't remember the name. Oh,
I don't really think about what's the worst horror movie.
Maybe one of those that you like put on and you're like, wait.
I mean, I'm sure this is also like a Serbian film. Just shouldn't have been made. You know, it's just like one of those movies that you're just like, whoever did this is sick. And I know the whatever artsy shit you're doing is a little bit perverted and not a cool way. And I was like a one watch for me, and I was like, well, I never need to see that again ever. But yeah, that was an interesting one that I'll never recommend that movie to anybody.
I don't want to insult the movie, because if people are like, that's a good movie, but I'm always going to remember that I think it's named The Devil's Chair, and it's one of the worst things I've seen. Like, it's one of those movies that everything happens and then it's just like a vision, and you was just like, so the whole movie was just like nothing happened. I was like, are you like, you watch all that stuff, it's just weird. There's like nothing. Demons, and you're like, oh my God. And then at the end he wakes up and you're just like,
yeah,
seriously, like that.
Some guy got a budget and just started pissing with his camera and just put it out.
You thought about that and you're like, I'm the first one to. I was just like, that's
like, so I am now a worse person after watching this film. Thank you.
Exactly. Sitting in silence would have been better.
So someone's bringing up the Ed Gein series that just came out. Did you give that a whirl?
I did watch it. I don't think I hated it like everyone did, but I definitely didn't love it. And there were some parts like I look back and I'm like, that was cool, like that was good or whatever. And then there's other parts of it that I was like, this is a little bizarre, this is a little off, and I could tell it just wasn't legit at all, you know. And like that bothered me a little bit. But like I wouldn't revisit it, you know. Is it worth a watch? Sure. Like if you're into that kind of stuff, I would still watch it, you know. But yeah, I wanted to be really stoked on it, because I remember when they announced it, I was like, fuck yeah, you know. But it was pretty.
Did you see the two others they did before that? The Menendez brothers and Dahmer? Because I thought those were great.
I thought those were great too. I came into this one
with like pretty high expectations.
Yeah, and I like Charlie Hunnam. I thought he was good in like Sons of Anarchy and all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
the one who plays Ed Gein.
Ed Gein. Yeah.
Did you, and not to go too long on that, but I'm curious, because in terms of horror, I love like the classic paranormal type of thing. We're talking about series. Did you watch Haunting on the Hill House, I think it's called? Like, it was a pretty cool one with all the hidden ghosts everywhere. There was a lot of, like, you're someone who's very detail oriented, and I felt like this one was like very
loved Haunting on Hill House. I watched that like 3 times.
Awesome.
I looked for the little ghosts and stuff too. And it was like a really good, the acting was great. It was like an emotional roller coaster. It made you feel a lot. It was super well done. I think his name's Mike Flanagan. He's done like a couple other good like horror things out there. He did the like, I forget what it was called. It was like a vampire one he did that was really good on Netflix. You'll have to look it up. You'll just have to look up that director. Movie? It was a series. I think it was like a short series. Maybe it was.
I think I know what you.
I think it's a short series.
I think I saw it. It was pretty crazy. What it's called
Midnight Mass. Midnight Mass.
Oh my god! Yes.
Yeah,
I like that one really till the end.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Didn't love the ending, but
Yeah.
until then, I was like, hell yeah, I was on board. But that was a cool. It was cool because that one was gritty. Like I liked the vibe of that. Like it was, yeah,
Consoling a little bit, kind of.
Yeah.
Someone said Hush. Hush was good too.
Haven't seen Hush.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
It's like same director. It's like someone who's like in their house. I believe they are deaf, and like they have someone trying to like break into their house and kill them. It's pretty good. And like a really basic concept, but they make it really intense the whole time, you know?
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'll have to look into that.
I never saw it. Yeah.
All right, let's round this off with some rapid fire. What's up?
If time allows us, I would have one quick question too. If we can, I'm gonna let you start.
It's now or never, yeah.
It's now or never. Okay, you were talking about tours earlier, and for some reason, I'm interested by that. Tours habits, like for you, is it important to like, I don't know, as you're touring, like working out, eating healthy? Are you more like party? Like what's that kind of situation?
You're exposing the man.
Yeah, no,
He's gonna have
I
to
like
tell us
this.
he does none of these things.
Fine. No.
You can lie and say like I'm super like
I'm so well behaved.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I like to enjoy my beverages and have a good time, you know, for sure. I'm like a little concert attendee, you know what I'm saying? But
party side a little bit more.
I don't know. Do you have like vocal warm-ups and stuff? Or you just
I do
stuff
not.
like that, yeah.
No, I'm not interesting that way. I kind of just I go backstage and I just kind of get in my zone a little bit, slap myself around a little, and just kind of scream at the wall for a second. Maybe take a shot or two of tequila and go. No warm-ups, no like whoa, like, no, just kind of just like fuck, and then I just kind of get up there, you know. And
seemed to be working for what it's worth. So
yeah, it's it's just, dude. Spite said it's just an adrenaline rush, man. It really is. It's just like get up there and fucking lose it, dude.
It just ties up with everything. Since the beginning of that conversation, it's like everything is natural. You just go with the flow. So I feel like touring it's going with that. You show up, you do what you feel. There's no you know. So
I definitely I sleep a lot. I think that's really important. You know, I coming from someone that doesn't do warm ups or probably any of the proper shit. I'm doing the fucking misty things and whatever. I probably should, but yeah, I think, you know, I used to be the primary driver for my band when we toured in a van and stuff, and I would just never sleep, and I would be like sick, and my voice would never hold up, and I'm like, what the fuck? And as soon as I stopped driving, bro, and I started sleeping on tour,
was the life.
Always the vocalist. There's guys, I can't drive anymore. I have a voice to hold up.
You know what, dude? Listen. I carried my band on my back for like years, and they didn't drive. Okay, so Benjamin, Ben drove.
Takes one to know one for what it's worth, but
yeah. I did my time. All right, I did my time.
All right. Some lighthearted stuff to end it off here. What's your favorite snack?
Oh shit. Ooh. What's my favorite snack? I like a candy, like a chamoy, you know, one of those covered candies, like sour but spicy candy like that. I like something like that. It's really good.
Never heard of whatever you're talking about right now.
It's like different companies. I feel like home make them and stuff, and they sell them at like different like corner stores and gas stations and stuff. They're over here in LA, like everywhere. They're really good.
Must be an LA thing. I see.
Yeah, it's like a Mexican candy. It's really, really tasty. Oh yeah, there you go. It's Mexican candy. But yeah, there's different like brands that do it. They're all different. There's what else do I like? What's like a go-to snack?
Yeah, you go to the gas station, you're picking one chocolate bar or one thing out of the gas
Oh,
station.
like
What are you
gas.
buying?
Oh, I see. Okay. Normally I'll get like a little something to sip on, a little like soda or something. I try to get like, maybe I'll get like a, I vary. I like to switch it up. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't like to keep drinking the same kind of soda. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like right now I have Sprite. Okay. Everyone's going to laugh
That
at
is
me
right.
because I'm drinking the Sprite soda. Yeah, no, I like a nice crispy Dr. Pepper sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But I try to get something like if we're on the road, like stopping at a gas station, kind of like sustainable, like a trail mix or something, just to have like a little bit of nut fat energy, you know, or something. So I'm not like dying before we get into town, you know. I have to get a coffee, dude. I always get a coffee at the gas station, even though it sucks. But if I wake up, everyone has to stop in the morning to make sure they use the bathroom early in the morning and grab their coffee and whatever. Always tastes like shit. Yeah, but we started finally bringing, like the last few tours, we started bringing our coffee rig because we torn the bandwagon now, and we just start fucking making our coffee there. I'll order some good ones like before I leave and shit, like stock us up. Even though the vehicle's like moving like this, the coffee's like,
you need like the extra large cups.
Sitting there like, oh,
so good. It's just like
spilling all over you. Yeah, dude. What a time.
Oh wow. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I have this last thing. I was asked to ask you if the chili was good enough to make up for not being allowed to play a church in Grants Pass, Oregon on your first tour.
Shit, how did you know about that?
It's my job to know.
Knows things, yeah. It's crazy.
Damn, we weren't allowed to play. We got to the show that day, and the venue told us we couldn't play because they looked up our band. This is when we were first starting out. So it was like, I think it was our first tour as Spite ever. So it was like the second date of the tour. We went up to Spokane first, and then we went to Grants Pass. We were with Aether, and they let Aether play. And they were like, we got there too. And they were like, hey, so we're sorry, but like, we can't let you guys play due to the nature of your music. And I'm like, we've had this tour booked. Like, you don't think you could have let us know this like before we showed up to the venue? You know what I'm saying? Like some shit like that. It was a little ridiculous, but yeah, I had not chili. Yeah, they literally would not let us. That was the time. Wasn't our fault.
Well,
Okay. Now, okay. Last thing. If you'll indulge us real quick. Spite Night.
Got you.
What can you say about it?
Damn, you know all the fucking lore. Jesus. That's crazy. Spite Night. Spite Night used to be how the fuck do you know this? when we were like when we were first starting as a band for like the first few years, it was like me, Cody, Alex, Scuba Steve, and there was Josh and Chris. There's some of our other buddies who were like involved with us at the time. And we used to do these things called Spite Night on the weekend where we would just all meet up together, not to do anything music related, but we would get together and just get fucking obliterated. And whatever came out about it, we would wrestle with each other. We would just get belligerent and just like have fun and do stupid shit. But it was like a weekly or bi-weekly thing. We would just be like, guys, like Spite Night, here we go. Like we're meeting up here. Like it was a ridiculous time. And sometimes we'd invite all of our, like some of our other friends over, and we just text them and be like, it's Spite Night over here. You got to come over. So dumb, dude. So dumb. We haven't had a Spite Night in a while.
Yeah, I was gonna ask when the last Spite
every
Night
night's
was.
Spite Night on tour, bro. Now we have on our bandwagon, our photographer made us little stickers. Now we have Club Spite. So on the bandwagon, when we're ready to, get a little bit rowdy, we call it Club Spite. And we just get the speaker out, start blasting a bunch of electronic music, and we get going hard. So
hard.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, dude.
Great.
Maybe one of these days you could join us for Club Spite.
Hey, look, I mean, our DMs are always open. You call it in Montreal and we'll be there.
Hell yeah, man.
Let us know.
Dude, thank you so much for doing this, man. This is fucking awesome. I'm already seeing people in the comments here in the chat saying it's their favorite episode yet. So the verdict is out.
Sorry, I didn't pay much attention to the chat. I was engaged with these two fine gentlemen here.
Oh, but that was so much fun, dude. Like honestly, like again, to your point that you just kept talking about being real and stuff like that. I think that's exactly what you did during the podcast, and we appreciate that. You know, it's cool to be able to have real conversation, talk about all these things. Like, we're here for that specifically. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, man. I don't know if you I mean, I want to let you kind of plug your things before we hop off here. You've got some tour, you've got some album.
Yeah, we have an album called New World Killer coming out on Halloween, so get ready for that. If you guys want to pre-order it, that goes a really long way for the band if you pick up the vinyl. So I'll plug that for sure. Appreciate you guys like sharing and being here and checking this out and caring enough to do that. We have an Australian tour coming up with Burials. It's going to be really fun over there with them. We're doing a headlining set, so if you're in Australia for whatever reason, get ready for that. And then, we got a headliner and some more stuff lined up for the next year. We got a lot of content around the album also coming out. Travis got some awesome playthroughs coming out and stuff too. So you guys will get your fill of Spite.
Just the beginning.
Yeah, that's right.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, we'll catch you. Is the next tour hitting Montreal? I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been my question. Yeah,
I believe it is. I know we have a few Canada dates, and I think Montreal's one of them.
That'd be great. We'll be able to.
If so, we'll we'll be in touch.
Yeah, I'd love to hang out with you guys.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you so much, dude. I'll let you get on with your night, but appreciate you doing this, and we'll talk soon, my man.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, take care.
If you made it to the end of this episode, thank you for watching. And hey, while you're here, hit that subscribe or follow button and a review. If you're watching or listening on a podcast platform, it would mean the world and it helps out more than you know. A big thank you as well to all of our supporters over on Patreon and on Twitch. New episodes every week, links to our Patreon, Discord, and socials in the description. We'll see you soon. We're out.